Um, I wanted to thank Mel for spending some time and coming down and having this conversation with me.
I'm happy to chat.
We're doing this to let everyone in Atlanta and the regional area know that Audio Alternative has been in business for about 20 years, is getting ready to change its name, or actually is changing its name, to HiFi Buys. We will also be having a new location that should go up during the first part of this year, and we're very excited about that. It will be down on the same block as the original HiFi Buys store down in Buckhead, which I know you opened in '73.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Atlanta in 1973 was a small town, in a sense. It was about 1 million people. I was working for a manufacturer in New England and Boston. It was the Advent Speaker Company, and with that experience I was able to travel a great deal of the country and see what the hi-fi business looked like in different cities. And also, as while I was there, I was convinced that it was a great opportunity for me. So I began thinking about the cities that would be the most possible to open up a business. And Atlanta just kept coming up as the hot city. It was a young city, a growing city, certainly a very affordable city. It's still really that way now. So I picked Atlanta, took my experience, and opened up the original store in Buckhead. And from that, the story was terrific. Everything I was hoping to have happen, with the business really did happen. The city was young and responsive, and there really was a great void for a company that had well-trained people that were enthusiastic about what they were selling, knew a lot about it. I established what I thought was really great customer service standards in terms of what the guarantees we would offer, the expertise they would offer, and the quality of equipment we would offer. We always concentrated on what we would call the middle and better parts of the business, and that's what really grew the company, was the consistency of that approach. And as the business grew and the audio technology grew, we really kept pace with it and kept what I thought were the better lines. And
Keeping pace with it's pretty tough to do sometimes.
Very tough to do. It's a lot of obsolescence, that's coupled with a lot of innovation. So the reason I selected the name HiFi Buys was because it had a unique sound to it. I found very, very early on that customers were always confused as to what store they had been to, because they were all such generic names. It was Audio City, Audio Village, Stereo Town, and you kind of always think that your name is unique and everybody knows you, but the truth of the matter is that everybody's always fairly confused about where they might have seen something or spent an hour on a Saturday. So the name HiFi Buys was really, really valuable. And as I stepped away from the business over the years, I realized how many people purchased stuff over the years. I mean, how many customers that HiFi Buys generated. Over that time, I think it established a tremendous amount of goodwill. I mean, that's really what you want to have happen in the retail business, is that the name was always really associated with good people, good equipment, good value, lots of fun. Still to this day, I run into or meet new people that had been in the city for a long time that they were customers. So when Alan was talking about where he wanted to, what the next phase looked like, and I said, well, why don't you see if you can get that name? I mean, it's just look into it.
I will tell you, it was when you told me that, one of the hardest things that I had to do was to kind of look at that and say, I've spent 20 years trying to build my brand as Audio Alternative, and we've done a wonderful job of it. I mean, it's funny that you talk about the consistency and the enthusiasm and those kind of things of the employees and myself that help the people that come in, and it's the same ideals. And it's funny that was true then, is still true today. And I do believe that the the uniqueness of the HiFi Buys name and the power that it brings is it's very exciting for us. I think bringing this icon back to Buckhead is something that I know because it's tested out there. I have kind of been letting the word out gradually over time to our customers. And what has been amazing is how many folks are so happy that HiFi Buys is coming back. And I'm thrilled, quite honestly, with your mentorship with me and that kind of thing, to be able to kind of, to bring that back and bring the excitement back to it. I know that we do a good job at what we do, and I know we're up for the challenge, and I'm very, very, very excited about this happening. I have been working on plans and a lot of other kinds of things to try and make sure that we have the right kind of atmosphere in the store, and also to make sure that we remain and stay what we are, because Audio Alternative has done a great job with what we are. We have not had the same brand recognition, or we certainly didn't get to sponsor the Lakewood Amphitheater, which was a big thing. And I think that, I guess one of the biggest things that I've seen in it is that the Buckhead store was kind of the flagship or the icon of Atlanta as far as for hi-fi. And what I think is really cool is being able to bring that back and yet have the same ideals and that kind of thing inside our store already that we're able to kind of bring back to Buckhead and with the HiFi Buys name together. So I'm very excited about that, and the day you suggested that to me was it was tough in my head to kind of suck it up, show a little humility, and let my name go, and to take over on HiFi Buys. I will say that of all the times that I sat in this store, I started out doing only used audio, and as my customers, I would get them very excited, and they would go right down to the HiFi Buys store in Buckhead and spend $25,000 on a system, and because I didn't have gear for them. Well, I do now.
Well, you have for a long time.
Yes, I have, but that was in the early years for me too.